going on, Jerome's? Looks like we made it. Tonight. The NFL is back. Ravens, Chiefs. It's going to be fantastic, man. All right. Lamar Jackson. Some offspring of Pat Mahomes, former Twins reliever. It's going to be good times. We are so back. Happy Thursday. Birds are chirping and stuff. It's time for another Vikings news dump. We are so back. That's right, man. Of course, the Vikings open up Sunday at noon. It's what I kind of like about the Vikings having lowered expectations. A lot of noon games on Sunday. I like Kirk Cousins would be NFL MVP if he ever had the schedule when he was in purple. The Vikings taking on the Giants, and got a lot of faith. Also, I feel like this is a must-win. Yeah, given away that the early schedule breaks down, going on the road against the G-Men. Gotta have it, man. A lot of people agree as well. Ben Fox, sports betting expert. Early week 1 NFL lopsided sides at BetMGM. 70% on the Vikings, -1.5. So everyone's got their faith. Backing it up with the jelly beans. Something that you love to see. Also, I forgot that the Giants are going to be wearing the dumbest throwback uniforms of all time. Now, I'm not going to lie. They're not terrible. But also, they're very bad. Purple Persuasion. Per Giants beat writer Pat Leonard, New York Daily News, on K-Fan, Giants offensive skill players are practicing in red jerseys this week so that Daniel Jones knows which team to throw the ball to. Pat Leonard is not beloved by Giants fans. It's kind of hilarious, though. But also, I want it to be true, right? And I know that Flores and company are just champing at the bit. They know they're going to get heat on Daniel Jones because the Giants' offensive line outside of Andrew Thomas is very suspect. And Daniel Jones is going to serve up a meatball or 6. It's going to be good times. So, it's going to be like that opening week ass kicking. Was it in Nashville when Kendricks, I think, had a pick 6? Or was it fumble 6? One of the two. I feel like this is going to be one of those games. But ideally, receiver ankles will be healthy and good to go. Dave Muzatani, Star Tribune. Pioneer Press, nailed it. Jordan Addison and Jalen Naylor were limited participants in practice. They are both dealing with ankle injuries. Now, O'Connell seemed rosier about Addison. He still seemed pretty positive and upbeat about Naylor, and what sucks is that Naylor just can't get out of his own way, man. Like, he's very talented, but he just cannot stay healthy, and having a minor ankle injury in practice just sucks, man. But hopefully Addison will be good to go. He got rolled up in Cleveland at the joint practices. Hasn't been 100% since, but hopefully he will be 100% when it comes to week 1 against the Giants. And also, guys like Tristan Jackson, Brandon Powell would be able to fill in that void if Naylor is limited or is unable to go. Also, so the Vikings named their team captains on Wednesday. And so actually sort of complains, like 8 captains seems like a lot, right? So you get a captain, you get a captain, you get a captain. But it's been 8 for a while. Towards the end of the Zimmer regime, it was 8, and Kevin O'Connell's kept that number up. So, I mean, some teams name 2, 3, 4, but up to 8. But at a certain point, like, how many is too many? Like, 8 is like a sixth of the team. Seems like a lot, man. But offensively, you got Sam Darnold coming in, the sheriff, who was like, oh, captain, my captain. The 1-4, going to represent. As well as, hey, about time we get some leadership from number 14 in purple. Also, Justin Jefferson, as well as Brian O'Neill on offense. CJ Ham, listed as offensive captain, but also special team dynamite guru, getting after things. Defensively, Harrison Smith for the 5th time, Josh Metellus for the 3rd time. Love to see that. Harrison Phillips. So Phillips has been a leader on this team ever since he got here. But now he's recognized as a team captain because Jordan Hicks, Danielle Hunter are no longer with the squad. So respect there. And then also Andrew DePaulo, the best long snapper in the National Football League. All pro, all everything. You love to see that. That's right, man. Also, speaking of 1-4, so I know, like, recent headlines about like Zimmer and Diggs right before the start of the season. It's just like, why is everyone living in the past? Because it's kind of funny. All right, and Stefan Diggs, now with the Texans, formerly of the Buffalo Bills, and the Vikings traded Diggs to the Bills in 2020, getting the first-round pick that resulted in Justin freaking Jefferson. For that, we thank you. And the Bills just sort of unloaded Diggs in the offseason. They never got to the Super Bowl. They never won a Super Bowl. But it seems like the window was closing. But it also seemed like Stefan was ready to move on. Now with the Texans, hopefully C.J. Stroud can run things. I don't know, man. But yeah, Bills fans are waking up to the fact that Stefan Diggs, he is who we thought he was. This is from Daniel Steinel. Bills Mafia. Fans defended Diggs when his character was questioned. Josh Allen called Diggs his brother when his character was questioned. Today, he showed us he cared more about himself than the team that went on a run to win the division and maybe drop pass away from getting to the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Stefan Diggs deep bomb that just sort of dropped. Kids can't see. But, yeah, so the GQ article, basically, Diggs just took a shot at everyone. And as a guy who says that he's a professional and won't air out dirty laundry, he sure loves airing out dirty laundry. So Bills fans are just waking up to this fact. They're kind of pissed, but Vikings fans are like, we've seen this movie before. Leo meme, love that, man. And speaking of Zimmer, so after Zimmer's flamethrower of a interview or article in the Star Tribune over the weekend, you knew that some players were just gonna started saying some stuff and some things. Now, players like Harrison Smith have been very diplomatic about things, but I mean, so some other players, like especially ones that are out of the game, are free to speak their mind. Vikes fan page, former Vikings offensive lineman Jeremiah Sorrells on Mike Zimmer's article, quote, "All he preached at us for years was to be accountable for your actions, but there was zero accountability in this article, just throwing people under the bus." So Sorrells and Alex Boone have a great podcast, the O-line committee, and yeah, they had some thoughts about some things there. So go check that out. But to a man, like, I'm sure that a lot of players were pretty disappointed because, I mean, Zimmer, it seemed like an article that you would put out if you were done with coaching. But Zimmer is literally the Cowboys defensive coordinator. So, I mean, if you're a Cowboys player who's never played for Zimmer before, say you're Trevon Diggs. Well, actually, that might be a bad example because he probably knows about Zimmer through his brother. But say you're DeMarcus Lawrence. Say you're Osa Odigizua, and you're coming in with a clean slate with Zimmer, and then you see this where he's just airing out the grievances, never taking any responsibility, and just throwing everyone and their mom under the bus. Like, what's going to be your reaction? It's not great. It's not great. And Kyle Sluter quote tweeted this: "A lot of hypocrisy from Zim. I'll pray for him." So, yeah, Sluter was definitely not a favorite of Zimmer. Like we said, the final month in 2020 for the 2021 season with Zim and Spielman, 100% Spielman just re-signed Sluter just to mess with Zimmer, which is fantastic. Which is trolling with a professional football team, which I fully respect, man. It's fantastic. Somebody I don't respect. So Thursday night is great. Friday night football, wonderful. But international series down in Brazil, I don't understand it. I still don't. But the Packers and Eagles are getting it on down there at Corinthians Stadium. Schefter, Sao Paulo has tightened security ahead of the first NFL game in South America after players voiced concerns about traveling to Latin America's largest country, the Brazilian state said Wednesday. If you're the NFLPA, like, how come you're not boycotting this? If travel and security isn't good, if players and their families are giving a list of things to avoid and things not to do so you don't have violence upon you, why are they doing this? Also, why Brazil? It's not like Brazil is a hotbed of NFL interests. Like, I understand, we're trying to grow the game. I have huge doubts that the NFL will ever catch on in Brazil. Brazil is football country. I don't think it's ever going to be football country. I just don't, man. So I understand what they're doing internationally in England, Germany. There is a significant interest in NFL over there. Why not Asia? Why not China? Why not Australia? Why not Japan? Why not that? I bet you there's a couple of sumo wrestlers that could start at right guard for the Vikings right now. Why not? Or since a lot of players are coming, a lot of international players are coming from Africa, like, why not? Why not Africa? Why not? It just seems like South America, it's never going to be like a hotbed of NFL talent in all likelihood. And also, I mean, they're soccer. Like, you're going to tell me that you're suddenly going to turn Brazilians and Argentinians over to American football? No, I just don't see it happening. Like, this seemed like a bad idea at the time, and it seems infinitely worse as we get closer. And if there's an incident, I mean, that's it. That's a wrap. It's done. I don't know why the NFL is doing this. Why not a game in Mexico again? Why not? I don't know. Just don't know, man. Something I do know is that I don't know if the Chargers are going to be good, and I don't know if Harbaugh is going to work out with his second tour in the NFL, but I do know this is fantastic. So, busting with the boys. Scott Matlock has been named the Chargers starting fullback. He is 6'4" and 300 pounds. Football is so back. So, Matlock, the pride of Boise State, was a defensive lineman and also played a little tight end for the Broncos. And now he's just going to be bashing people. So I freaking love it. Like, I kind of wish the Vikings would adopt this. Like, hey, how about Taki Taimani fullback? Like, full on Fridge Perry style. Or, I mean, this is obviously a Harbaugh thing because this is very much akin to what the Ravens do with Patrick Ricard. I mean, Patrick Ricard is 300 pounds. He's a fullback, former defensive lineman from Maine. Talk about Maine, baby. So that's what we need. Or like Levi Drake Rodriguez. How about he brings his energy to the fullback spot, leading the way. ISO for Ty Chandler. Or actually, screw it. I'm sure Levi Drake Rodriguez can tote the rock. Taki Taimani at fullback. And then you got Levi Drake Rodriguez dotting the I. Jerome Felton, Adrian Peterson style. Let's go. I mean, I should have got me one of those Sendejo hats that said make football violent again. It's like make fullbacks great again. That's what we need. That's what we need. I miss like the Lorenzo Neal fullbacks, like leading the way for LaDainian Tomlinson, just going to eat your lunch. I mean, it was great. Lorenzo Neal, Fresno, baby. Come on. Speaking of big boy football, so SEC, blah, 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 SEC this, SEC that. Like, SEC, yes, it is a premier conference of college football. But also, I feel like SEC fans definitely just like thump their chest a little bit too much. You know what I mean? And also, with conference expanding, like, I still don't understand. Like, why the hell is Oklahoma in the SEC? Why? Anyways, Julie Daniels, Care 11. Also, I think she's a Bama alum, so obviously she has some connections with the SEC. Can confirm there is an active screaming match about SEC football between Diamond Dallas Turner, Alabama, Jonathan Grenard, Florida, Brian Osama, Oklahoma. Again, last year, Osama wouldn't even been in this conversation. Justin Friggin Jefferson, LSU, and Dwight Nudie McLaughlin, LSU and Arkansas, happening in the Vikings locker room right now. And this is great, too, because I love when you see bets paid off, like when like alma maters go at it. And it's usually like, hey, I'll post on the gram, me in a jersey of your team's, your school's jersey. Usually stuff like that. But, you know, the whole SEC thing, like, I feel like there's a strong Alabama contingent. Like, hey, where's Will Reichard? Hey, Reichard, how come you're not standing up for your guys? LSU used to run things in this locker room. Skol SU. I mean, they used to have Daniil and Patrick Peterson, Jaquelin Roy for a hot second. Ed Ingram, Justin Friggin Jefferson, of course. So, I mean, I don't know. Oh, Dwight McLaughlin also went to LSU, so I feel like he counts partially. Go ahead. But, yeah, the Alabama. I mean, I feel like Diamond Dallas Turner's definitely got a lot of pride, and also he's got bragging rights. I mean, Alabama roll tide. I wonder what Kalen DeBoer is going to do, though. It's really tough to follow a guy like Saban, but I guess we'll find out. But again, I love this stuff. Like, honestly, like, they should bring back 96 questions, and they should just bring back like locker room banter and conversation, and just like straight up ish talking. Like, you know, the thing, what you get on VEN. It's fantastic, but it's definitely like sanitized. Like, I love when the guys do Instagram stuff when they're literally just like talking ish and just trying to embarrass each other, which is fantastic. But I don't know. You know who looks really good in the SEC this year? Vanderbilt. Yeah. Or oh no, we lost our Georgia guy with Lewisine. Well. Bring in Fran Tarkin. He can talk some ish about Georgia. Or hey, how about we bring back Herschel Walker? Actually, how about not? Anyways, that's it. But that is it. That is Vikings news done for this beautiful Thursday. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skol, production value.